And hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bucks Football Report. I'm Al Southard, and along with Deerfield Beach High School head coach Jevon Glenn, we're going to take a look back at Week 6, which featured a dominating win over Taravella, and we'll also preview this Friday's game against St. Thomas Aquinas. And joining us on the show, at least in the first half, is a young man who brought the homecoming crowd to its feet several times, and that is Jefftey Joseph, the wide receiver, who had a touchdown and some other big plays. So, gentlemen, thanks for being with us. Congratulations, a 42-0 win on homecoming. It's you know, what more could you ask for as a fan of the Bucks? Coach, I know going into the game you had a little concern about Taravella's offense. There's something that your guys were not familiar with, using a lot of misdirection, but obviously the things you worked on during the week certainly worked exactly right by shutting them out.
Definitely. I mean, we came out and our defense played exceptional. I mean, like we spoke about before during the Bowls week. Bowls plays a similar type of offense to Taravella. The Bowls probably had a little better athletes, so that game kind of prepared us for Taravella. And the defense came out, and from the start, they played very well.
Okay. Homecoming game, I remember you mentioned that it wasn't too much of a distraction, but did you see a little extra sense of urgency and excitement in the team as they took the field that night?
Definitely. We came out, we were focused and well prepared. I think the kids got a kick out of a halftime seeing Miss Shaw kiss the pig. So I think once they got that motivation, that really turned them up for some reason.
Yeah, that's I'm sure that's made the rounds on all the social media here. All right, well, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights of that big win. A district game also, so the Bucks are now 2-0 in the district, and it was a pretty good night right from the start. A little trouble getting past the banner. I think they're using super glue now. But, Coach, go ahead and carry us through the game highlights.
Yeah, we wanted to get off to a good start, especially passing. We wanted to make sure the guys were ready. Defense, they came out and tried some, as you see, Jamari Rouse and Jimmy Harper stuffed that trap attempt. Like I said, they were dialed in and ready. Then Ted got off to a really good start. Hit some really nice passes. Ryan Powell right there for a big gain. I think that was on the third down attempt. But we were pretty well oiled and pretty ready to go. Got another one here. Ted uses elusive scrambling ability to get away and complete a nice pass to Randerick Gervin down the field. Offensively, I think we were pretty tight. We were pretty tight. Coming in now, we get Jerry Judy runs an excellent route on the DB. I mean, he had no chance. That was a great throw, an exceptional route by Jerry to get us on the board 7-0.
Right. You can see on the replay here just how well Ted laid the ball in between the two defenders so that Jerry can make that catch.
Yeah, as you say that, he threw it to the place where only our receiver can make a catch, and that's a big time throw. He's proven he's one of the top QBs around. There's another great defensive play. Jimmy Harper has been dominant the last couple of days. I think he's kind of hit his stride against Bowles and here against Taravella. He's killing it. Then we got my man here, Jefftey. He gets a short pass and breaks the tackle, and he's off to the races. I think he's starting to get comfortable at the wide receiver spot, trying to make big plays week in, week out. Here we go defensively again. Get a lot of pressure. And like I said, defense was dialed in. That's Jimmy Harper again, 44. I mean, he's starting to really turn it. I had a great time. Had a great time a year for us when we get better. Got another seam pass to Jerry, getting up through the seam. Like I said, Ted was really dialed in. Really dialed in. Jerry got a little banged up on that play, but he was able to come back. Yeah, then Colby with just what we like to call a grown man run. He breaks several tackles and he's off to the races. He's been slow throughout. I think he missed the entire spring and a lot of the summer workouts with an injured foot. So we're now just getting him back to hit stride, and I think that's only going to add to our explosiveness as an offense.
Yeah, great individual effort there, shaking off the tacklers on the initial hit.
And once again, like I said, they do a lot of gadget plays, but Breon Bird was being optimistic and picked up that fumble. He has a knack for just being around the football. He's emerging into one of the top linebackers in South Florida. And then we get here, I think Matt Ray's on a nice punt return. We was hoping he'd be able to take this one to the house. Get some good blocks here set up too as well. He may have ran out of gas a little bit. But it's good. Our special teams all year have been, a real bright spot for us, and we hope that continues. Like I said, that's a very important phase of the game that some people overlook.
Yeah, it definitely can set up the offense and make things a lot easier from that standpoint.
Definitely. And as you can see here, Ted takes advantage with a nice pass across the middle to Jerry, and he gets in for a touchdown.
Right. So this at this point, it's just the end of the second quarter, and you're up 28-0. And I say the defense just
Yeah.
I think the deepest Taravella got in was about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, they controlled him, and then once again we set up Jefftey Joseph again with a nice route. I mean, he had the DB turned around, another great throw. But it's good to go out in a game like this where you don't have a letdown. You can go out and be focused. Once again, we got the quarterback scrambling around trying to get out, and Aaron Robinson makes a great play on the ball. But just a case of big-time players making big-time plays. I think he was a little winded here. As you can see, he's in cruise control. He's a 4.3 40 guy, and he looks like he's running a 5 flat there.
You've had several interceptions, maybe 4 now, that are at the goal line or in the end zone.
Yeah, this is one of our young backs, LaFleur. I mean, he breaks out. He happens to step out, but that's a 60 or 70-yard touchdown called up. But he's one of our young guys, got a chance to play, and we get him. Then we get the freshman getting into the column with interception. His first interception as a Buck, Jevon Glenn. We're looking for big things out of him. He has a chance to be one of the great ones if he stays focused and keeps his work ethic high. Holding on, and I got my man Alec Brown getting into the action. He hits Tavian Laster here for a deep pass. Good chance. It's really great when you get to get some young guys out there and let them play a little bit and get to show what they have. And we got Giovante Evans getting in for the score. So all in all, I mean, we're really pleased.
So 42-0, another district win, and especially coming on homecoming the way it did. Just a great job all the way around. Jefftey, you were quarterback last year with the Bucks, and now you're making the transition to wide receiver. Tell us a little bit about making that move and some of the things that maybe you've had to learn this year to make you start to rise above the pack.
Over the years, I realized that I can not only help my team as being a quarterback, but also from all aspects of the field. Like, I can also play receiver and be the leader of the team that we need. It was actually an easier transition for me, for us to accomplish the things we need to accomplish, because, having a well quarterback like Tedrick, he has the ability to move with his feet as well as throw the ball, and we feel like it's a great asset. So, with me having abilities to play other positions, I asked my head coach, Coach Glenn, if I could go to receiver, and it all worked out after that.
You're in the style of offense. I mean, we're not just talking about short crossing patterns and down and outs. You guys like to go deep. How much fun is it as a receiver to just fly down there and know that Tedrick can get the ball to you?
It's actually a great feeling to know you have a wonderful quarterback like Tedrick to put the ball where it needs to be, and when it's all up to you at the end of the day, because he can get it there. So as long as you have his back, he'll have yours.
How are you learning to use your size as an advantage? Because I'm sure you come up with some mismatches in the first 5 weeks here. What have you found out that you can do to get to the ball even when you're covered?
The main objective is to get the ball at the highest point, because not many DBs so far has been able to get to the point where I have. So the main objective is to get the ball at the highest point when it's been thrown.
What are some of the other skills that you're working on to bring out all your talents as a wide receiver?
Day in and day out, trying to catch balls, like catching small tennis balls. When I go home with my little brother, we're always working out extra. Running on treadmills at home, or even if we're running around the block. Stay conditioned, because we never know when something might happen and the coach might need you to do something else, and you always have to be ready for when that opportunity comes.
Mm-hmm. Coach, from your perspective, what kind of progression have you seen with Jefftey since the start of the year?
It's been night and day. I mean, he's always been a great athlete. He's always been a team-first guy. So to be able to see him, to be able to go in and thrive, and to see that the coaches are now taking notice. So actually, it's really, really good to see a young man who gives you his everything to start to reap some of the benefits and the rewards. Reminds me a little bit of Denard,
Mm-hmm.
when he came out of Michigan and he switched to play receiver, and now he's a running back. So the versatility, I mean, we try to make sure we preach that to these guys, being unselfish and having that versatility makes you more dynamic as a recruit. So, but I think right now he's settling in at the wide receiver position, and he's got some schools calling now, and I mean, obviously he's a great student, great young man. So his character is impeccable. Like, he's one of our team leaders, and he's always been that way. So we're pleased.
Now, you guys are turning into probably a little nightmare for other teams that have to prepare for you, especially with the passing game. Tedrick is great at scrambling and getting himself out of trouble. And now you have Jefftey and Jerry Jeudy and some other receivers. They can't just focus on one or two people out there from a defensive standpoint.
Yeah, and that's something we were priding ourselves on. Like we said earlier, as the season got going, we knew some teams in week 1, week 2 were as good as they were going to be all year. I mean, we know we have a lot of new pieces and we're still gelling. We want to be, multidimensional. We want to make sure. And you come in, let's just say if the passing game is a little slowed, we got guys that can run it with Kobe, Giovante, Alton Allen. We got a list of receivers we can come at you and wave. So we want to be multidimensional. I think it makes us that more effective, that more dangerous. And we want to make sure we're, applying pressure at all points in all phases.
Well, everything seems to be working great, and I know we're hopeful that it continues this week against St. Thomas. We're going to take a quick break. Jefftey, we want to thank you for being with us on this segment of the show. And when we come back, we'll have Cavin Ridley, another of the outstanding Bucs receivers, to join us as we talk about the upcoming game against St. Thomas Aquinas. So please stay with us. And welcome back to the Bucs Football Report. We're now joined on the set by another one of the rising stars on the Bucs team, and that's Cavin Ridley. And I shouldn't say rising; he's obviously been recognized as a great college prospect around the country. And Coach, you're going to tell us a little bit about a big event that's coming up today with Cavin right here at school.
Yes, definitely. Today's a big day for us here in Deerfield Beach in the football program, as Cavin to be recognized as one of the top prospects in the country with his Under Armour All-American jersey ceremony. Like we spoke a little bit about it because it's something very rare. Because, like I say, his brother last year was an Under Armour American as well, and then he comes back this year and he's unmarked. So it's really good. Under Armour has been good to the Ridley family, and now it's good to the Bucs family. So we're proud of him.
Yeah, well, congratulations, Cavin. And where does that fit into your whole season here? I know number one is the team and getting in the playoffs and going as far as possible, but it must be nice to be getting those individual recognitions along the way as well. What do you know about the Under Armour and the game that you're going to be playing in?
Well, I know that it's like the top players across the world come together and playing a big game, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm just ready for the opportunity.
Are people already asking you for autographs? Your notoriety is starting to build around school here?
No, not really with the autographs, but I just take it day at a time,
Yeah. Do you enjoy being recognized or having people talk to you about the team and yourself and where you're going to go to college? Is that something that you enjoy at this point?
I'm not really a big fan on the attention and all that, but I mean, I really do like that people come to me and they realize that I am a big player, and I really appreciate it.
And how does that rub off on your teammates? Do you feel that they're kind of like the team is elevated by having a player of your stature on the roster?
I believe like when you play around good players, everybody else comes to your level and they begin to play on your level. So I think it's a good thing that we have players on our team that are on my level. So yeah, it's a good thing.
Coach, as you mentioned, this is a very unique honor. What is it that you see in Cavin that makes him stand out across the country as one of these elite players?
As you can see, he's very humble. He's a shy guy. He's never a me guy or a me first guy. I mean, that's very rare to see nowadays with and we're in the time of showboating and guys that, want to be Twitter stars or Instagram stars. He's a humble guy, but I mean, make no mistake about it, when he steps in between the lines, he's a beast. I mean, our coach Ron Williams calls him Mega, baby Megatron. But I mean, it's good to see a kid that who has every right to be arrogant or be self-serving, be so humble and be a hard worker. So that's something I'm proud of it from a coaching standpoint.
Mm-hmm. Cavin, I would imagine that you're looking forward to this Friday's game as much as anyone on the schedule this year. St. Thomas, we really don't need to go down their list of accomplishments. But if nothing else, I know last year's game was very unsatisfying for the Bucs. the way that they won. What do you do during a big week like this? Is it any different in the way you prepare for a game or get yourself personally motivated?
For me, I just, it's a game. Like any other game, you just got to look at it as a regular game. If you look at it as anything else, I mean, you'll be trying too hard or you'll be doing the most. So we just look at it as a game every week.
From a player standpoint, what impresses you about St. Thomas and what they put on the field?
I mean, I look at it as an opportunity for the players that don't really have any schools or big schools or offers or anything that you can actually put yourself on the map competing against big-time players.
Yeah, because all eyes are focused on games like this, and I'm sure you're going to have a lot of people that will be checking out what happens during the course of the game. Coach, some of the things in particular that you've been working on this week, like I say, they're always stocked, especially at the key skill player positions. Maybe from a defensive standpoint, what are you a little wary of as they come into Butler Stadium?
They have some of the top receivers in the country. I mean, you got to think they got a quarterback that's a Florida commit, got a receiver that's a Miami commit. They have another receiver, Trayvon Grimes, who's one of the top 2017 recruits in the country. So we want to make sure we're just dialed in and we're studying our film and be well prepared. I mean, like I said, this is one of the biggest rivalries, as quiet as kept here in South Florida. I know a lot of teams or schools will say, it's a rivalry, but for it to be a true rivalry, both teams have to, get some wins. I think the overall series between St. Thomas and Deerfield is 18-14 all time. So that's what you call in here in the last 8 years. It's been going back and forth. I mean, the last time they were here, we beat them on our field. So just to get the kids, it's like Cavin was saying earlier. I mean, it's going to be a lot of big time players out on that field. At any given time, you may have 25 to 30 Division I, top caliber Division I recruits on the field. So it's a great opportunity for them. It's nothing that we shy away from. We're going to play. We want to be considered a big time team, big time program. We got to bump heads with the teams that have established that already. So it's a great opportunity for us, and we're looking forward to it.
Good. Well, it looks like you guys are on track, Coach. You've got the kids fired up and confident, and those are two of the things you certainly need against a team like St. Thomas. Cavin, thank you for coming on today, and congratulations on the Under Armour Award, and best of luck on Friday night.
Thank you.
And Coach, same thing. We look forward to seeing you out there, and best of luck to the team against St. Thomas.
Definitely. Looking forward to coming back next week with some good news.
That sounds good. And it's another big game. St. Thomas, Aquinas, that's all we need to say. There are going to be a lot of great athletes on the field, a lot of excitement. If you come to one game all year, this is probably the one where you need to be there. So we hope you come out, 7 o'clock this Friday at Butler Stadium, and we'll see you at the game.